Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Normal Guy of the North here. Today we're diving into one of the most unique and challenging game modes in World of Warships, Asymmetric Battles. This mode returned in Update 14.8 and will stay in the game all the way until Update 15.2, which means it's here for the long haul. It's a mode that takes skill, patience, and teamwork, because it's not a fair fight. Not even close. You'll be in a 5 versus 12 battle. 5 high-tier player ships against a dozen lower-tier enemies. It's the ultimate few against many scenario, inspired by real naval history, where smaller elite fleets triumphed against overwhelming odds. But just because you have the higher-tier ships doesn't mean you'll automatically win. The enemy has numbers, focus fire, and in many cases, yes, a carrier providing near-constant spotting on your position. That CV means mistakes get punished faster, and open water play gets riskier than ever. So in this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know to win consistently in asymmetric battles. From ship selection and map tactics to formation play, team roles, and countering that constant carrier spotting, let's dive right in. Understanding asymmetric battles. Asymmetric battles are designed to feel different from anything else in World of Warships. You'll be outnumbered, surrounded, and sometimes spotted from the start. It's 5 player-controlled ships, usually tier 9 or 10, versus 12 lower-tier ships, generally tier 7 or 8. Sometimes the enemy team even includes a CV which can perma-spot your fleet and keep you under constant pressure. But remember, you've got better ships, more powerful consumables, and experienced players on your side. Victory comes from coordination and smart positioning, not from charging in. There are 2 map types in this mode: Standard Battles and Domination Battles. In Standard, each team has 1 base. In Domination, there are 3 or sometimes 4 capture points, A, B, and C, and positioning becomes far more complex. You'll see familiar maps like North, Hotspot, Trident, Sleeping Giant, Loop, Sea of Fortune, and Islands of Ice, all modified for this game mode. Each of them rewards teamwork, vision control, and crossfire positioning, and punishes isolation. Playing Standard Mode. In Standard Mode, your single goal is simple: defend your base and capture the enemies. But most players fail because they rush too fast, get spotted early by the CV or enemy DDs, and end up in crossfires before their team is even in position. Here's the correct way to approach it. If you're in a battleship, your job is to flank smartly. Don't drive straight into the cap. That's a death sentence. Instead, angle out toward a side where you can catch enemies broadside. Once they start pushing, you can turn out, kite away, and let your secondaries and main guns do the talking. BBs like Schlieffen, Brandenburg, and Libertad excel in this mode because their secondary guns can deal with multiple enemies at once. If you're in a cruiser, stay near the cap and support your DDs. You're the backbone of the formation. Use your radar or hydro to detect enemy torpedoes and keep the cap clear. A good cruiser captain knows when to switch between support and aggression. And if you're in a destroyer, you're the team's eyes and shield. Spot for your BBs and cruisers, but don't suicide spot. If a carrier's in play, use islands and terrain to break line of sight. Try to bait the CV planes into flying over your team's AA bubbles instead of getting caught alone. In Standard Mode, teamwork is king. Your BBs should be on the flanks, your cruisers in support positions near the cap, and your DDs providing vision and area control. The best way to win is to collapse one flank first, secure one side, then move inward together. Never split up or chase kills away from your base, because once the bots or that CV take your base, it's over. If you play patiently and time your push, you'll find the enemy's numerical advantage starts to crumble as you pick them off one by one. Playing Domination Mode. Domination Mode is a completely different beast. Instead of 1 cap, you now have 3 or 4, which means more crossfire angles and more opportunities to get caught out. The biggest mistake players make in Domination Asymmetrics is rushing mid. Don't do it, ever. The middle is a crossfire trap, and with a carrier in the air, you'll be spotted, focused, and deleted before you even realize what hit you. There are 2 working strategies for domination games. Method 1, the flank collapse. Everyone pushes together on one flank, usually A or C. You take that cap fast, sink everything on that side, and then rotate toward mid. Your DDs spot targets while your BBs and cruisers focus fire on anything that breaks formation. Method 2, flank control. Here you ignore mid altogether. The team captures both flank caps and holds them. By controlling both sides, you force the bots and carrier to expose themselves, trying to retake the center. Once their forces are divided, you push in together. In both cases, the rule is simple: stay grouped. If you're a DD and you see 2 BBs heading your way, stick with them. Your spotting enables their firepower. If you go off alone, they go blind, and the team collapses. Never try to defend all 3 caps at once. You're outnumbered. Focus your power where it matters most and win one flank decisively. Once you've broken that side, the match is practically yours. Countering the carrier. Let's address the elephant, or rather the airplane, in the room. Yes, wargaming almost always includes a CV on the enemy team in asymmetric battles, and that means constant spotting. You can't rely on stealth the same way you do in randoms. Here's how to deal with it. First, stack your AA bubbles. Stay close enough to allies so your overlapping AA auras shred incoming planes. A solo ship will always get farmed, but a tight formation melts squadrons fast. Second, don't panic smoke. If you drop smoke too early, the CV will simply wait it out and spot you again. Save smoke for defensive retreats or when you're about to get focused. Third, bait the planes. Let one ship, preferably a cruiser with good AA, draw attention. While the CV focuses that target, the rest of your fleet should reposition or punish the spotted enemies. And lastly, be unpredictable. Change speed, alter heading, and relocate often. CVs love predictability. The more you move, the harder you are to spot and strike. If your team works together to mitigate spotting, you'll survive far longer and maintain map control despite the enemy's vision advantage. The wisdom of the Admiral's wargaming actually based this mode around 4 famous naval leaders, and their advice fits the meta perfectly. Nelson, be prepared. Preparation wins battles. Bring the ships you know best. Don't experiment in asymmetric mode. Equip upgrades that suit your playstyle. If you're running secondary focus BBs like Schlieffen, Brandenburg, or Libertad, mount secondary battery modification 1 and auxiliary armaments modification 2. Pick commander skills like long range, secondary battery shells, adrenaline rush, and manual secondary battery aiming. Togo, concentrate your fire. The Japanese Navy defeated a much larger Russian fleet at Tsushima by focusing all guns on one ship at a time. Do the same. Focus fire, delete targets fast, and move on. Nimitz, weaken the enemy. While defending, start defensively, angle your armor, save your HP, and hold your ground. Once the first wave is blunted and your base is safe, that's your moment to strike. Agrippa, stay on the move. Caution doesn't mean camping. Keep your ship maneuvering, use your speed to create crossfires and pressure. Mobility and positioning win more games than raw firepower ever will. Building and ship selection for battleships, pick brawlers or secondary monsters. Schlieffen, Brandenburg, Libertad, Bourgogne, and Mecklenburg all excel here. For cruisers, durability and utility are key. Napoli, Sevastopol, and Puerto Rico are top picks. They can radar, heal, and tank sustained damage while supporting their team. For destroyers, pick flexible, survivable ships with great concealment or utility tools. Daring for endurance, Ragnar for gunpowder and radar, and Shimakaze for long-range torpedo control. Avoid fragile glass cannons. You'll be spotted too often for them to work well. Build for survivability and sustained fighting, not pure DPM. You need to last all 20 minutes, not top the damage chart in 5. Practical tips for winning. Here are the fundamentals that separate good players from great ones in asymmetric battles. 1. Always focus fire. Never split damage. When everyone shoots the same target, that 12-ship enemy fleet starts melting fast. 2. Control vision. DDs and radar cruisers must coordinate. Every second you have an unspotted enemy is a second your BBs can farm safely. 3. Use islands. Natural cover is your best defense against crossfires and carrier spotting. 4. Don't get greedy. Damage means nothing if you die early. Stay angled, trade efficiently, and keep your HP for the late game. 5. Ping and communicate. Even a single focus fire on target or support that flank ping can rally your team and turn chaos into coordination. Common mistakes. Let's go over the biggest game-losing errors. Rushing mid in domination maps, instant crossfire death, ignoring your base in standard battles. One sneaky bot DD can cap you out while your team chases damage. Going solo against a CV never works. You'll be spotted, focused, and sunk. Overextending BBs without cruiser support, you'll get torpedoed and burned down. And finally, camping too long. You can't win by sitting still. Once your team has thinned the numbers, push and finish the job. Advanced team example. Say, here's a typical winning flow. At spawn, your DD moves forward to scout. The cruiser follows behind an island with radar or hydro ready. The 2 BBs angle wide along the same flank to open crossfires. The moment the first enemies appear, everyone locks onto one target. The DD dodges and spots, the cruiser radars, the BBs hammer exposed broadsides. Once that flank collapses, push through together. Have your DD scout the next cap while the BBs turn in to re-engage. Keep radar coverage rotating and AA overlap tight against the CV. One player should always stay near your base just in case bots slip through the center. It happens often in this mode. Play like that and your 5 ships can erase 12 in style. Mindset matters. Asymmetric battles are not about farming stats or padding numbers. They're about coordination and control. You're the elite task force holding the line against overwhelming odds. Think like a commander. Every move should serve a purpose. If your flank fails, fall back and regroup. If you get focused, kite away. Waste the enemy's time and let your teammates counterpush. Your win rate in this mode isn't determined by your personal damage. It's determined by how many allies survive alongside you. Final thoughts. To wrap up, asymmetric battles are 5 versus 12, and you'll almost always face a CV that provides constant spotting. In standard mode, play smart, flank with your BBs, support with your cruisers, and have your DDs provide vision and defense. In domination mode, avoid mid early, group up on a flank, and take caps one at a time. Always focus fire, rotate together, and use islands to mitigate spotting. Prep your ships, coordinate consumables, and stick close enough for AA overlap when the CV is active. Above all else, teamwork wins. Master those fundamentals, and you'll start turning those 5 versus 12 battles into highlight reels. Thanks for watching, I do appreciate it, and please feel free to click on the videos on your screen for more World of Warships content. But as always, take care, stay safe, and I wish you all the best. See you in the next one, and bye for now.